Harley Swede Wallen getting ready to film for the #1 Contender. What is your role in that movie?
I am the bad guy, the ultimate bad guy, and actually might be speaking with a Russian accent. If you've seen the movie
You're gonna pull off a Russian
I can
accent?
speak with a Russian accent. It is not the problem.
No, huh?
No.
All right, on.
But anyway, so the cool thing about this movie is I get to play a bad guy, and I mostly played good guys in the movies that I've been in. So to get to play this is going to be a lot of fun. I am the ringleader behind the scenes. I run gambling, I run fight leagues, underground fight leagues, and I put essentially a hit on a guy. He dies, his brother, a little bit of a blood sport kind of feel to it, but his brother comes after me, fights in my underground fight league to get all the way up to become the #1 contender to fight my #1 guy. And
Just so we can get close.
maybe that
Maybe,
could be a part of the
yeah,
plan.
that could be. No, but actually, it sounds like a really exciting movie. We haven't had any good movies like that.
Yeah, and
You know,
it's a Detroit, it's a Michigan promotion. Really excited about that. There will be parts of Michigan MMA fighters and stuff, and I believe that we have almost locked down to have WXC be a part of one of the scenes where me, as the ultimate bad guy, will be in there essentially.
what are you recruiting
Recruiting, talking fighters, and coming in there, just being my my character. But I'm definitely looking forward to it because being that guy is so far from my persona,
Right, man.
that I'm gonna love playing it because I guess we all have that little demon inside of us, and I get to let it out.
I've seen you pissed off. All right, I've screwed your sound up, screwed up your commentating on a few shows, you know, and I've seen you a little angry at me, man. But we all know that you're a soft guy at heart. But on the level of this movie being based on you're like the underground ringleader of some underground fighting, I'm just going to throw in. So I've actually spent the last 3 weeks just kind of perusing to see what I would find if I did find anything like that. And I'd have to say that you don't have to deal with that much here. Even though Michigan's an unsanctioned state, there's no caveman aspect going on. People are trying to put rings and cages in and have it be legit as they can, you know?
Well, I think that what ends up happening right now is they have so many shows going on all the time that if you try to pull things, or if you wanted, you just can't get away with too much anymore. And it's like when Eric was talking about, Moon was talking about no weigh-ins. That's the old way. I mean, I know right now my guys to go down and fight WXC, you're gonna have to step on the scale in front of the whole crowd. Those weigh-ins.
And I film them live too. Yeah, you know.
You have to make weight. There's just no such thing as not doing that.
That's awesome.
So, I like where the sport's going, but yeah, WXC will be involved. Hoping to have you involved with that movie. That would be really cool.
I'll do what I can if he wants to have me, man.
We need a little banner of your any of your businesses in there, and yeah, WXC especially because I really enjoy working for them. I think they do a hell of a job.
They do, man. I really love working with Norbert and Mike.
Yeah.
I really do, and they do have the best intention in mind.
Yeah.
You know, everything's always squirrely in the background. You got to ignore that.
No.
You know, you got to ignore people with squirrely heads in business because they're just trying to get the job done. But when it comes to getting the job done, man, they always show up 100%. You know.
Yeah, I mean, watch those cards and pretend that you didn't know any of the fighters fighting in the UFC or Bellator, and watch one of those WXC cards. And yeah, there will be a few fights that probably don't work out the way they should,
But it is comparable.
But man, oh man, me and Langman were talking after the last one. We were at another event the day after, and we were talking about it, and Ben goes, "What was up with that event last night?" And I'm like, I know. And he goes, "That's probably seriously the best amateur event I've ever been to." And we were sitting there and we started talking about old TXC and or XCC shows from years and years ago when there was no pro MMA in Michigan. That's how far you had to go to find a show that was even comparable. And I love that. And I've heard good things about out in Jackson. They put on some really nice events. I used to work a lot up north when I didn't have 48 kids and movie careers going on. But I used to go up with Big John. I used to go up with the Mad Greek and have a blast.
Yeah, John did a great job with the Alpina show. Put on some really good tight matchups there.
He's been around a long time. He's put in his...
That Danielle Cooley, and you have to go online and check out that Danielle Cooley and Carolyn Biscuit fight. That was 3 rounds of terror, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Carolyn
awesome.
came out mad.
I used to coach her.
Yeah, she's bad, dude. I love
remember
Carolyn.
she broke her hand and she came over to me to the corner and she goes, I don't know what I can do. I broke my hand. And I said, we're going to worry about that after the fight. And then we started talking about what to do in the next round. And she actually went on to keep fighting, and we dealt with the hand afterwards.
So back to the movie, Harley.
Yeah.
So how did you get picked for this? Did you go for an audition flick, or did this guy know you from the background of where you're coming from? And
No, I have been in. Yeah, no. At this point, I've been in quite a few movies, and this guy said that he just really liked my look for the role of playing this bad guy, and we ended up, meeting up, and I did a little bit of a reading. We talked a little bit about the character, and essentially he gave me the role right on the spot.
to give you a little nostalgic feeling reading that character, kind of.
Just because of what it is. I've never had the opportunity to play anything about fighter, and I played a bad guy in once, and it was a silent movie that was black and white, very artsy movie, and I was a mass murderer. So I played a bad guy once, but this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a very modern movie. It has a lot of layers to it. I know that the base idea has some similarities to Bloodsport, and it's going to draw some of that.
Well, you wouldn't be who you are if it wasn't for your past, Harley.
Oh,
so for this to be the bad guy of an underground fight ring, like, even though you've always been a good heart, you probably never really intended any harm to anybody in those fights you had, except for just, hey, man, I'm getting paid to get in there and beat the crap out of this guy. I'm going to get in there and beat the crap out of this guy. That's your job, We understand that. But now you get to take on the role of that guy that used to hire you and used to have you come in, and you get to kind of emulate that.
Gets all the money from.
Would you be lying to me if I asked you? You kind of envied that when you were young, didn't you? You wanted to be that guy, didn't you?
No, I love the fighting. To me, it was.
That's what I mean. You envy the guy that was running those shows. You wanted to. He was making money, man.
I wanted to be the main event.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the main event, and you know what I always wanted to do? I wanted to throw the guy I fought. Because to me it's one of them things, and you can ask Quincy because he's a judo guy as well, the satisfaction of throwing someone head over heels, dumping them, having them gasp for air and struggle to get any kind of offense, to get any kind of anything going, just the satisfaction that is amazing. Like my fight that I did here in Michigan, I'm so happy that I got to throw that guy, because that's one of my favorite things to do. If I can dump someone, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah. So you think we'll ever have like a series of exhibitions between the trainers, man?
No, but it would actually be funny though, because for us to truly, I'm going to be one of the few guys who's going to be honest. For me to, if I'm going to go fight right now and fight some of this young, amazing talent that we have,
like you and James Gray would be a great matchup, even though you're way outweighting, of each other.
James Gray is still an active participant in the sport. I think the Haspins, it's like I would love to see Randy Couture and Liddell go back at it again. I don't know why. So like, what would be fun is like me and Quincy or and I don't know, like Brendan Seguin is still too close to, he's still active, but like all the old timers fight each other. That would be
James Strike and Bentown.
Any like that would be fun to see.
Yeah.
To see the coaches.
Let me see, who else can I think of, man? Mike Patinelli, he ain't in there, but he's over there training every day. And and I've seen him kick. I've seen him use his kickboxing skills. I think that's what he mainly focuses on. And I think that's what he would bring to the cage. And so you bring judo, he brings little Bushido action, everybody brings their own style. But I think even Mike really wants to gets in that cage at least once and do something with what he's learning, And but yeah, so anyway, all right, back to the movie. We could talk for hours, brother. If I had an endless life on this battery, man, we could probably have a lot of fun talk. So when is the projected release of this flick? Right now, we've casted all the main characters. I think now there's going to be supporting cast done while I'm in Sweden. And then when I get back, we start filming. So filming starts in September. The guy says he likes to shoot his movies in 60 to 90 days, and then he's looking at about the same time for editing. So we're looking at probably at a winter release or a spring release at the latest. It sounds like a spring release.
Yeah, and then the thing that I really like with this, a lot of the movies that I've been in lately, there's two movies that they're taking a little bit more seriously. One is called Love Interest. and now this one, the #1 contender.
Yeah, I could have swore I saw a post with you and that love interest, and I was like, is he going to do a love flick, man? What kind of love flick? You know? Is this a PG-13 R, or are we just all renting this and bringing it home?
No, anybody who knows me knows I serve God first. So
right on.
There's not going to be any of the adult
Good. So it's just a good romance movie, romance comedy, or
yeah, it's a romantic comedy.
Good.
Has a little bit of edge to it, but yeah, nothing that I would be embarrassed with my mom.
Right on. So what other aspects about this #1 contender are really hitting home for you that excite you immensely?
What excites me is that it is how I started. The mixed martial arts was not mixed martial arts when I started when I started fighting, and it was very underground. Like I remember back in the day, you had 1 10-minute round. That was how I fought. And if you did not finish your opponent, it was a draw. So you went
Pride style then. Pride
beyond Pride, yeah. So I mean, you went in to finish, and you getting tired. Sorry, but you're gonna have to deal with it. There was no gloves for the first 3 fights. You were in a boxing ring or on mats, and they would have essentially the crowd were your boundaries. It was a completely different thing, and I think this, #1 contender is going to bring a lot of that out. It's going to bring that old school fighting. I remember the closest thing to an actual event was Warzone in Amsterdam, which had a square chicken fence cage that I fought in, and that was crazy. But that's how it used to be.
Oh,
and
I couldn't imagine getting thrown up against that, or someone trying to dig their toes in there.
There was some of the places had mats, some of the places did not have mats. And again, anybody who trains judo, ask these guys what it feels like falling, getting thrown on real mats. Imagine falling on this or on puzzle mat. Fight's over. Fight's over. So that's the beauty of it.
Get the wind knocked out of you the first throw, right?
Oh yeah, not just that, but like the whiplash, getting hit, the head hitting the ground. I mean, it's over. It's over. So it's going to be fun to see some of that, because I love the sport of MMA, but also I love where we came from. I love the rawness of the no holds bar fighting of Vale-Tudo. To truly see what's best. Like all sports do this. They start cutting out things that invade their sport. Like if you go to jiu-jitsu, they don't give a whole lot of points for takedowns. If you go to MMA, they make the ring really bouncy, so a takedown doesn't kill your opponent. If that was a street fight and we did a double leg dump or a suplex, fight's over. And in MMA, you get a little bit point, about the same as landing a cross for a takedown. If you're sitting judging, that's how I score it. That's not really fair, because that particular move on the street probably end the fight. So I love where this movie's coming from. It's coming from the rawness in the beginning, before mixed martial arts was mixed martial arts, when it was just tough guys testing themselves, testing what they know, testing what they're capable of. Man to man, and you're really fighting yourself. That's what you're really doing.
Right.
Fighting yourself.
Like golf.
Right.
You know?
Hey,
Hey, Harley, look, man, I can't wait until I got enough series of your movies that I can make a whole, day and a half marathon, man. We can just have a whole night of just let's watch Harley in different movies, man. And I really can't wait to see #1 contender come out. Being a hometown boy, this is a Michigan movie made by a Michigan filmographer, right? And it's going to be right here. And being a sports filmographer, I'm not a movie guy. This documentary I'm doing is my first one, So we're going to see what happens and how it works out. And, man, I really just this spring is going to be exciting to see that hit the airwaves, man.
Well, first place is going to hit. It's going to go a couple film festivals, and as soon as he gets the release date, he's going to release it to 2 or 3 film festivals in a row, 1 in state and 1 or 2 out of state.
Right on.
And I'm hoping that this gets picked up and that this gets more than just a release in a film festival. So
cool.
I'm super excited.
Awesome. Well, pleasure talking with you, Harley.
Thanks for coming out, Jay.
Yeah, we'll see you again.